muskrat. It's swimming. Oh, there we go. In my back.
This is the TFC. This is the TFC.
This is the TFC Riffles and Rants podcast.
Breaker 19, Breaker 19. I'm a trucker now. Have you ever wanted to be a trucker when you were little? Wanted to just get behind the wheel and truck it out?
No, but you're making me not want to do this podcast.
You're so mean to me. I don't even know. Like, I get abused on this podcast. Like, I don't even know why I'm here. It's elder abuse. I should have abused you as a kid. Then you'd have a reason. Hat's kind of sideways. You look disheveled. You look like you're in an angry way.
Right. This is all garbage. All right, ready? What?
Welcome to Riffles and Rants, TFC, Ep.4. We're back.
Sorry, I don't know why I'm laughing.
You got riffles in your pants? I need a diaper for this show.
Why? You have to crap again?
Then I wouldn't have to ever stand up or have problems if I had a diaper.
All right, introduce us again, game show man. Sounded like a game show introduction.
Okay.
This is episode 4, TFC Riffles and Rants podcast. I'm Talon Bronson, sitting here with
The old man, Jeremy Bronson.
The goat of indicator bobber fishing.
I am your bobber host. If you need anything
Jeremy Bronson
related to bobber fishing, I'm your man. Let's bob it up.
All right, so today we're going into the Blue River.
Yeah.
We're diving into
It's
that.
a little bit, would you say that speaking about the Blue River in Colorado is a little bit of a taboo or has been? But we're going to kind of
depends.
We're going to kind of dig into it.
I don't know. There's a lot of different things to dig into. So we're going to try to not circle around all of the topics, but just touch on everything.
Okay.
But I guess the reason we're starting off with this is because I saw some stories on Instagram, and I'm not going to name who or from where just because I don't know if they want me to say who. I don't know. I don't really know them. I just thought it was really interesting. So, but on the Blue River in Colorado, the headwaters run into Dillon Reservoir. Blue River runs out of Dillon Reservoir as a tailwater through Silverthorne all the way to Green Mountain Reservoir. Then it runs from Green Mountain Reservoir Dam all the way to the confluence of the Colorado River. And we're talking about the entirety of this river today. But to start off, what really sparked our interest in it today was the stories I saw on Instagram. We're talking about a specific section of the Blue River that has big pellet head fed trout known as Blue Valley Ranch, which is, I'm calling out Blue Valley Ranch because it's no secret anymore.
The whole thing's not really a secret.
I mean, Fly Lords has done an article on Blue Valley Ranch's pellet heads. I mean, everyone and their mom knows about it, especially over the last however many years. Well, and so don't go into it yet. Let me finish about the stories. The Instagram stories were saying that on this Blue Valley Ranch part, that apparently now there's been a big land swap. We'll go over the land swap. But apparently now that they're using facial recognition to survey the usage of the river per person or people by groups, because the billionaire that owns this ranch is wanting to create a permit system for this section from Spring Creek Bridge to the confluence of the Colorado, technically. That's really where the only takeout is, down near there. Because he's saying that that the usage is impacting and declining the fishery.
The fishery of which he feeds.
The fishery of it, which is a fake fishery that he stocks, feeds, has done all of the work for weirs and rocks. So yeah, is that pretty much all it said? Is that what your takeaway from the stories were, that were shot pretty crazy to us?
Yeah, I mean that's the bulk of what.
So limiting floating access on this section because of overusage through his private pellet fed section.
Yeah, that's basically the bulk of it, and the bulk of if we're talking about from Green Mountain down to the Colorado, we're talking about a 14-mile stretch of river.
Yes,
and of that, 7 of those miles
or maybe ish
are within his private ranch.
Yeah, probably. Maybe more. I don't. More or less, I don't know. But the info I just gave you guys, there's no actual proof, as far as I know or could research, that the permit system is happening, that facial recognition is being used. I don't have proof of that. I just have, from local people that are up in that area that know a lot about it, right?
And that are on the river all the time.
That are on the river a lot. And we have floated it recently and saw a lot of new cameras.
A lot.
Looking at all of those private runs. So I believe it. And I believe that he would be trying to make it a permit system. So that's kind of how we're starting this off. Blue River, all the way from Dillon to the confluence with the Colorado. This is talking specifically about that section, but we're going to kind of go over every section of it, why we've seen so much decline in those sections, the science behind why they're declining, the fake pellet head section of it, the land swap,
what it did and what it didn't do, or what it was trying to do that it really didn't accomplish.
High water mark law has a part to play in this.
Yeah, particularly the difference between states with high water marks versus Colorado that does not have high water mark laws as of yet. So
yeah.
I think that the best way to start it is let's not start with the Blue Valley Ranch portion, the lower section. Let's start from Dillon and work our way down.
I'm down.
Okay.
Because that's easier to target as to why it's declining. We can quickly go over that.
Yeah.
So we're not talking about above Dillon. So from the Dillon Dam to Green Mountain Reservoir, used to be until 2016, it was gold medal status. And what was gold medal status? You told me technically.
You have to have 60 pounds of fish per acre. And of that 60 pounds of fish, 12 in 1 acre have to be over 14 inches.
Okay.
So whatever 1 water acre is.
And they took that away from that large section.
In 2016.
Call that the middle section, right?
Yeah. So it lost its signification as a gold medal fishery in 2016. Prior to that, apparently it was. So the question has become recently with biologists as to why and what could be done, if anything can be done, what the problem is. So there has been, by the Blue River Watershed Group, there's been a 3-part study that is still ongoing that I can't find results of that study yet.
It's in phase 3. And as far as from what I researched today, all of the phases were pretty much just researching why that section has declined, and it, water quality, water temperatures, the soil, the environmental impacts, like all of it together. So it still seems like they're trying to collect data to actually understand why the river has gone downhill, because it's a very hard equation as to why. Because you see, you think of Colorado tailwaters, like Cheeseman, the Frying Pan, the Taylor, that have so many fish per mile, but it's for so many different factors contribute to this. So I think that could lead us, Cutthroat Anglers has a really good article
on their website
that explains their reasoning as to why they think there's been a decline in that section. I mean,
and some of it, and the Cutthroat Anglers article says straight up that they're just reiterating information that they could find, and most of it has to do with the fact that Dillon Reservoir, the water that comes out is very cold all the time. So it's like 40.
Yeah, so they said in the summers that it doesn't even exceed 45 degrees.
Yeah.
And that most bug life thrives
above
mid 40s to mid 50s.
Yeah.
Besides midges.
And then there's also a nutrient part of it because most of all of the phosphorus and other nutrients, and I call them nutrients because they're found naturally, are stuck at the bottom of Dillon Reservoir, and they don't come out. Now, there was a mysis shrimp portion of it. Mysis shrimp were introduced into Dillon sometime a long time ago.
Yeah.
And then they introduced char, which apparently the char have eaten
A lot of the mysis.
a lot of the myses. So the myses fishery is different below Dillon than it used to be, and it's also different than it is below, on the Taylor and on the Frying Pan.
Yeah.
So there's not that many that come out anymore.
Because I think those deep tailwaters can really only be successful if the water's still so cold, if they have a lot of myses coming out. And from what it sounds like, that there's not enough research on the myses shrimp in Dillon and how it's affected. But, any mysis shrimp tailwater is only good because of the myses.
Yeah.
So now that maybe myses have declined because of the char introduction and the way they release water, that it sounds like that is contributed a lot to why it is not successful, on top of just the cold temps not allowing the micro, macro invertebrates to thrive.
Yeah. And then there's also a flow piece of it. So particularly there's a long period of time where on low water years, which we've had for a long time, but on low water years, the flow throughout the entire winter is like 50 to 60 CFS for a long period of time. So it's really cold. The water level drops. So that entire section that used to be gold medal has just completely declined. And if you've ever fished it, if you've ever tried to fish anywhere below the town of Silverthorne, like the numbers of fish down there are just, there's fish down there, but it's very low. Very low. And it's a huge, pretty section of river. Like it should be better than it is.
Way better. But it's just that section sucks because it's such a long section of river. And if it's only been great in the Silverthorne section because of the years they've done their broodfish stocking. Like that's the only really time you see nice big fish in there is fake fish that they've put in there from hatcheries.
Yeah.
And that it's just a combination of too low of flows, water temperatures, the bug life, the weed life. Like it's all just like not ideal for anything.
And so in water sampling, part of what has been proposed is there have been other states and other fisheries that have proposed supplementing phosphorus into a river system. The problem with phosphorus, if you don't get the level right and it becomes too much, it creates blue-green algae, which is toxic.
Yeah.
So it's a very, very, balancing act about what is accurate and what's not if you're going to supplement phosphorus into a river. And I think that that's what's going on with Colorado Division of Wildlife and this Blue River Watershed Group and biologists about what could or should be done to try to bring this fishery back.
Yeah. Like I said, Cutthroat Anglers article on it actually has really great info on their take on it, which all makes sense. And then the Blue River Watershed Group, like what they're doing is great. It just feels like there's not enough resources or funding to actually figure it out.
It also sounds like even if they figure it out, like they might have the reasons figured out, but what to do about it to solve it is a whole different problem.
Yeah, because then you're also dealing with Denver Water and water groups that have demands for specific flows and specific there's a lot of water demands that dictate stuff too.
Well, and a lot of the water in Dillon doesn't necessarily go down the Blue River because of Roberts Tunnel. It gets pumped over to the
other
front
side
range
of the Continental Divide
for drinking water for Denver.
Yeah. So I'm not sure if it's ever going to be it sucks. I wish they could solve it because it's a lot of water that if it was good could help spread anglers out in Colorado.
Yeah.
Since pressure is just ridiculous.
And it's also the entire section, that upper section and the lower section. If you go to American Whitewater, it is a floatable section of river at certain flows, but those flows are so few and far between and have been for years that it's not actually a viable float fishery either based on the flows. So if the flows would go up, you'd probably have a chance at better bug life. It would spread anglers out because then you could potentially float it, which you can only in little windows here and there.
Yeah.
And that's the same for the lower blue, also below Green Mountain. So that brings us to
below Green Mountain.
Below
I
Green
guess
Mountain.
that's pretty much the general explanation of why the middle blue sucks.
Yeah.
Has continued to go downhill and suck.
So our new part of the podcast is what sucks. So last week it was scuds. This week it's just the middle
Blue River.
The Blue River sucks.
Which is just a shame because like everyone you think tailwaters, you think like big fish, lots of fish.
Yeah.
I mean that's the thoughts behind them. But like for the blue,
It's just not.
it's just like maybe I feel like it used to be that way, and it's just. And I'm not saying there's no fish. I mean, when you're still below the tailwaters, like there is, but like it's once you get out of those few miles, like that, it really like you're like, wow, it feels barren.
Yeah. There's times where you're on it and you're like, wow, is there even a fish that lives in this river? And the bug life, though, like there's just not a lot. Like, yeah, there's hatches and stuff you see here and there. Like, I mean, there's midges and there's some other decent sized bugs, but it's not like a prolific hatch really a lot ever on those rivers.
And that's really the main issue is the bug life for Green Mountain up. I don't think that's as big of an issue below Green Mountain for at least the canyon section because there's great hatches in there. There's a lot of bugs that you see.
Which is interesting.
Maybe once you get below there, like maybe it has to do with the canyon. Like that's what I'd like to know.
And it is interesting, though, because that water, I'd like to know what the temperature is that comes out of Green Mountain. Is it more of a mid-level? Do they pull water? Because that is a hydroelectric dam. So Dillon is not a hydroelectric dam.
Yeah.
Green Mountain is a hydroelectric dam. So does that water come out at a different water column level so the water temperature is a little warmer?
I'm pretty sure water temps are more ideal below Green Mountain than Dillon. And that's why you see different fisheries. But I guess that brings us to, so now we'll talk about below Green Mountain to the confluence of the Colorado.
Yeah. And the land
where
swap.
Blue Valley Ranch
Yeah.
is somewhere down there.
And the land swap and that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
I think that, you know, the reason this got brought up is like Talon said was based on a post that was done by a guy that's up in the area who is on the water all the time. And it's actually, if you read it, it's kind of the post is kind of a call to arms for it says the time for the community to start making some phone calls and speak up. So obviously they're trying to call some attention to the river, even though for a long time it's been a little bit of a taboo subject to try to talk about the Blue River below Green Mountain.
Yeah. Specifically, I mean, do we want to start with the land swap? Do we want to start with talking about pellet fish?
Let's first talk about like the ability to float it, because it's not floatable all the time.
No, it's not floatable all the time. It's hard to float it.
And the only
There's
portion,
no good access.
the only
We're
wade
not going to
fishing,
give details on it.
The only wade fishing is in the upper part, particularly now. There's no lower wade fishing.
Yeah.
So the only access by foot is at the upper section.
Yeah.
And the only time you can float it really is boat dependent, but like for the most part, it's over 400 cubic feet per second.
Yeah.
So if it's under that, you're not floating it. And then there's bridges in the way, so
I
it
don't
kind
even
of
wanna
has to
give
be
that,
okay.
but
All right. The point is that the floating portion of it is dictated by flow, so it's not floatable
yes.
year round.
No,
period.
it's not. It's
Okay.
not.
So the point about what this guy was saying is that they're wanting to limit float access. The float access is already limited
It already is based on
flow.
time of year.
because you can't float.
Yeah.
I mean, you're only floating it for 3 months of the year anyway.
Yeah.
So that's already limiting it. So the fact that someone is saying that the fishery has gone downhill because of the amount of floating access is pretty much complete garbage to some extent,
Yeah.
because it's not only being floated 3 or 4 months of the year, maybe.
And maybe that's different. I mean, I know people float it at lower flows for the people that have access to the neighborhood and stuff down there.
Okay.
But I mean, I just think it's, I don't know. Me and you used to love floating the pellet head section. And I just think it's stupid now, kind of.
Yeah.
It's just fake and stupid and like, it's just not real fish.
Well, and I will be honest, it's a really long, hard float, and you got to know what you're doing. Like
yeah, you have to be good on the oars, or you're not going to. I mean, we've seen people flipped in that canyon.
We've saved people before down there trying to get them out of the water in the canyon,
But
so it's not
to start
easy.
like using facial recognition to try to figure out how much usage there is.
That's crazy.
To create a permit system is crazy.
That's crazy.
And with that said, when we floated it, like that place has cratered the last 5 years.
For sure.
And in my opinion, I think it's because he's just not putting fish in there anymore or feeding them like he used to, which I think is also because you can't get out. It's trespassing. And when you have pellet head fish like that, trying to revive fish, like the amount of fish we have floated and seen dead in there, I mean, all of the fish, a lot of those fish actually do die from catch and release, in my opinion.
I agree because
you can't properly release a giant pellet head when you're trying not to touch the bottom of the river.
Yeah, you can't. If you think about it, like even when we're on a freestone, so if we're on the Colorado or we're on the Roaring Fork or wherever, we'll pull over. If you catch a good sized fish, we'll pull over and revive it to get out of the boat, put its head in a current, make sure that it's going upstream, give it time to revive. You're not doing that if you're worried about trespassing. Yeah. So I would like to say this though, like he very easily in the state of Colorado could make it so that section's completely unfloatable. He could put all kinds of obstructions, fences, and he hasn't. In fact, there's signs that say, just keep floating, enjoy your day, that kind of stuff. Like, it's not that he's stopping access. So I do want to give credit where credit's due, that it could be completely closed down, and it's not. However, at the same time, to try to start limiting access when you've already granted access and it's only floatable for 3 or 4 months of the year, and then you start putting cameras up that are using facial recognition to determine who's using it and who's floating it and who can or who can't to make rules like that. I mean, you got to talk about Big Brother. I mean, it's crazy.
And I'm at the point where, like, I love fishing the canyon. We're some of the only ones that fish the canyon because all people want to do is go float and beat the crap out of the pellet heads.
It's crazy.
And I'm just, like, so over that. Like, I wish CPW would go in because also on that guy's post, he said how CPW biologists have said the number one reason that the fishery has gone downhill or isn't thriving is because of pellet feeding, which I could kind of see and agree with because it makes this fit like a completely fake fishery.
Right.
It's completely fake. Like, fish don't act like how normal fish should. They're waiting for the sound of pellets to hit the water.
Yeah.
And if that's the only reason they're getting big or thriving down there, then it's fake. But also, like, why were fish before that doing better before? I don't know.
But see, there's the question.
Who knows? Because maybe the bug life down there sucks too. So I wish, though, that at this point that pellet feeding would be banned down there. But there would be a emphasis on trying to get it back to being a successful wild fishery.
But was it ever? That's the question.
I don't know. I'm not really sure.
And that was the question I was going to ask you. So if we know that the Upper Blue River is a tailwater and the bug life sucks and and it's already lost its gold medal status up there, who's to say that if you stop feeding, if all of the stocking and all of the pellet feeding went away on the Lower Blue, which I'm all for, is there enough structure that this billionaire has put in that it would still hold fish
and create
a
wild
natural
fishery with spawning habitat?
Yes. I think that's the question that needs to be asked more so than should or shouldn't they feed
I'd love
fish.
to know. And the other issue with it too is I would say there'd be a better chance, but like Gore Canyon on the Colorado River is right below there. And some of that stuff, I mean, it's not like fish are making it. I don't think a lot of fish are probably making it up like some of those crazy parts of Gore Canyon.
Like Gore
to
Rapid
spawn.
and stuff,
Do you know what I mean?
I don't know where they're running
Like,
from.
it's not like a lake run thing that's going up that blue. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Especially since it's a tailwater, and does that dictate if they go, how many fish go up there to spawn or not? I don't.
And I mean,
know the
obviously,
answer.
we've caught brown trout in the Blue River below Green Mountain, so obviously there's browns that are spawning.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe there would be a good, like maybe things could be sustainable, but like with the flows that get very low, like that middle section,
I mean, it drops to under 100 CFS.
there's not
in
a
the
lot of
winter.
holding water in that middle section.
No, and the middle.
There's not a lot of weeds.
The
at
middle.
all.
That's right. And it seems like the middle section. We call it the middle section, but it's still the lower section. But it's the middle of the lower section. Like it feels like sometimes there's not a fish in that section.
Just like the upper part, like you just said there, the middle part, water conditions and bug life still doesn't seem very suitable in some of those stretches of the ranch and the canyon. Yeah. And that's a whole nother issue to try to fix because there are articles where the Blue Valley Ranch was going to experiment possibly with phosphorus. I'm not sure if it ever went through because it said, I'm not sure if they ever got permits to do so because of the effects it could have had on the lower Colorado.
Yeah.
So.
And Blue Valley Ranch does have their own biologists. Like they have on-staff biologists that are interested in working with.
So they want
CPW to try to see what they can do and use it as an experiment to determine if that would help or not.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that ever went through or not.
But I mean, the whole issue with the dead fish in there from like, it's just mishandling and not being able to revive fish because of high water mark law, in my opinion.
I agree with you.
But then you add high water mark law, and I think you will see pellet head sections completely go away.
Because
you can just trespass into all of them. So
who would
you know what I mean?
I wouldn't put fish in if I owned the property.
Right? Pellet feeding the wild, if it could be a successful wild fishery, I wish it would. I'm just not sure how good the water quality, the soil, the bug life, like if it could actually support that.
I think someone needs to figure out from a tailwater standpoint why it's such a different tailwater than other tailwaters in the state, because there are other really successful tailwaters, and why it's less productive. That's number one. Number two is the section, the below Green Mountain section, the land swap that happened in association with it is kind of crazy. So there were some previous wade-in, walk-in areas that were a public easement that were down on the ranch. Those have gone away.
That allowed people access to fish on
the ranch.
Yeah, 4 pellet heads.
Yes. And it wasn't it wasn't broadcast. It wasn't It was one of those, it was kind of an urban legend where I heard from someone and I heard from someone, and
no one would talk about it,
Yeah.
but that's also when no one would talk about even floating the blue. Now it's everywhere. Like I said,
exactly.
Fly Lords has posted about
Yes.
Paul Tudor Jones pellet heads.
Exactly. So it's out there. It's not
out
us.
there. No.
Yeah.
But I'm going to start with this. The land swap at first made me really laugh because people might not like me for saying this, but people were obsessed with only fishing the pellet head public area. And that's the only place they would go. The only thing they would do, like it ruined fly fishing for them. And it's so fake. Like you're catching pellet heads and like that, like people like took it like seriously, like life or death.
Yeah.
So it made me laugh because I'm like, it forced a lot of people to be like, this isn't the only spot I'm going to go on my off day. Like it actually made people go do real fishing.
You mean by getting rid of the lower section?
By getting rid of the lower
walk-in?
pellet head walk-in section, it actually forced people to do real fishing, not fake,
doing the real fishing,
farm pellet head fishing. So that part made me laugh because, I mean, I never really enjoyed going down there. But like some people, that's the only place they would fish, and they were just up in arms when the public wade section went away.
But with that said, it was a section that gave people access, and it was great that there was public access on a private piece of property.
Yeah.
And when the land swap happened, it was framed as though it was going to be beneficial.
Yeah.
To the public.
Not at all.
Not at all.
It was the biggest load of crap I've ever seen in my life.
It did nothing for anyone other than completely limit access to everybody.
Because apparently it added more from the takeout in the confluence to Trough Road. That section of water sucks.
It's garbage.
It's not great. I mean, there's some bigger fish. There's a few big fish There's a few prison escapees down there from the
Made
ranch.
to run. High water pushed them down.
But there's just not a good population of even wild, self-sustaining trout down there.
Dude, you don't even see fish turning hardly
then,
down there.
at all. And
Even
if
in
they
the
are,
flat-
they're about
4 inches big.
Yeah. And then the other part of the land swap was Spring Creek up. And I don't mind that. I mean, I like fishing the canyon, so it's giving some more access on the main road side of Spring Creek up to the canyon. But you could hike in from the canyon to some of that lower stuff no matter what. And what did we think we read about the takeout?
We thought that the land swap was it said that it was going to improve the takeout. And a lot of people that I've talked to thought that meant that the takeout was actually going to be a boat launch, an actual upgraded boat launch. So you could...
To back a boat up.
To bypass the canyon and put in at Spring Creek and float the ranch.
All that happened to the takeout was they put in a few stairs, called it an improved takeout. You still have to carry a boat however many, yards.
And it's bad.
And it's uphill.
Yeah.
And they added like a bathroom or something?
Yeah.
A rest stop?
A rest stop. They added a rest stop and some parking spaces, I guess, for wade fishermen or for a place for your shuttle to be brought to. Like, the other thing, real quick though, I want to say though, by the way, and I wish that we would have touched on this when we were talking about the limiting of access.
Yeah.
If you're limiting access, there are no commercial trips allowed on any part of the Blue River.
No, there's not.
You can't commercially float or guide on the Blue River. So the access that would be limited by facial recognition
on the Blue River below Green Mountain.
Yes. The Blue Mountain below Green River. I don't know about the up. Yeah, because people guide and wade fish.
Blue Mountain below Green River.
Yeah, now we're in Wyoming.
Now you
Have you ever been on Blue Mountain?
the Green River.
Okay.
What was your point? You just got a little dyslexic right there, and I lost you. There's no commercial float guiding through the Blue Valley Ranch.
Correct. So you can't guide on it anyway.
I don't even think you can take guided wade trips down in the canyon.
I don't think so either. I don't think that. My point is there's not a permit that allows commercial fishing below Green Mountain. So my point is that the facial recognition and the permit system would have nothing to do with a commercial limitation. It's only public limitation.
Yes.
That's the point.
Yeah.
So it's purely limiting the public. So not only did the land swap take away the walk-in area, now if you add a permit system, it's limiting the boat access to it.
Yeah.
So it's all just public limitation.
Yeah. Yeah. The land swap got worse. Maybe a permit system now.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that's ever really going to go through.
I wouldn't think so.
I mean, he has put a lot of money into that river down there, and CPW has let him.
Yeah.
So you never know what might happen.
But
we're not saying that he has no interest in the river. I mean,
I think he does.
I think a lot of people, like that article that Flylords posted, talked about Paul Tudor Jones, big pellet head fish, introducing phosphorus to make them even bigger. I'm not sure if it was actually him trying to make his pellet heads even bigger, or if it was maybe him and the biologist trying to figure out a way to make that Blue Valley Ranch area sustainable.
So they didn't have to feed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think that it was. Because you could pellet feed and then add phosphorus, the fish aren't going to get bigger. They're still going to eat pellets no matter what. If you're feeding them pellets, they're going to eat pellets.
If you take away the pellets over time, they're going to have to survive off of what's in the river. And if there's not enough stuff in the river to eat, then that makes things hard.
Yeah.
So...
But the land swap was funny. That's my whole point of the whole thing is that the land swap did nothing for anyone from a public standpoint. I mean, you can carry your kayak easier up out of the river. That's basically what it did.
Yeah.
So congratulations, kayakers. You scored.
Yay. Good stuff.
Go kayakers.
Woo. Did we have anything else? It was the land swap, and what else?
That was it. I mean, the bulk of it is just this: is what we saw today said that pellet feeding is causing harm to the fishery, so that should go away. And I just think that I'm not disagreeing with that. I hate the idea that people are feeding fish anyway, but if the river won't sustain them anyway, and the guy has done $100 million worth of habitat improvement, which let's talk about the habitat just a little bit. Like, it is great habitat that he's put in. I mean, there's a lot of holding water. There's boulders, there's deep water. There's things that never would have been there, because I promise you, if that riverbed looked like it does where it goes into the Colorado, and it looked like that all the way up, it wasn't holding fish anyway.
No. Honestly, there just needs to be higher flows on both sections.
I agree.
There needs to be more water, maybe not as cold temps, and you might see some better fishing, along with the soil contents and so I don't know. It's a big.
There's a lot to it and a lot of moving pieces, because you have so many people who want a piece of the pie. You have Denver Water, and then you have the people that are trying to make electricity down below Green Mountain. So
and
those are all
different.
different.
And then you have Blue Valley Ranch and all of that influence.
And apparently Blue
then
River
you have
Watershed
public
Group.
influence. Like,
yeah. So there's a lot of moving pieces. I do know this. What you keyed on, though, is this. If you could find a way, like, for example, in Green Mountain, they fill it up all spring and they wait till it gets almost full. And then they start dumping water. But why do they have to dump it sometimes at 700 or 800 or 900 CFS?
I know.
Could there not be a way that you could put it at 300 or 400 CFS?
And just keep it more consistent?
Consistent? Would that not help the fishery?
Maybe.
So why does that not happen?
But then you wonder, that cold water does help a lot the lower, or the Colorado below it. Because
it does.
When the water, there's bad water years, from pump house down, it gets low and hot. So then when all of a sudden those flows bump a lot, you're getting a lot of more cold water that's evening out those higher temps for trout.
I would agree with that, but I don't know how much 700 or 800 or 900 cubic feet per second changes the water temperature versus 400. I mean, you're still getting an influx of colder water for a longer period of time, instead of just blowing it in and blowing it out.
I know.
And then the Colorado would stay more consistent for a longer period of time, right? So that could help all the way down.
Yeah, maybe.
I just solved it. So if you need any questions, call me.
I don't even know how to feel about the Blue River anymore.
I don't even want to fish it. Screw it. I'm going somewhere else.
That's how I kind of feel.
That's pretty much how.
I love floating the canyon. Honestly, right now, do whatever you want with JP. I don't even care.
I agree. Feed them,
as
don't
long as
feed
I can
them.
float the canyon.
But with what I just said, if they kept it at 400, you could float the canyon for a long time.
I know. Well, you could in our boats.
I know. In our boat, you could.
Yeah.
You could.
A two-man's the
You
best.
could float it at 300 in ours.
Yeah. I did finally catch a 29-inch one on a elk hair caddis drive.
Above the feeding section.
I know.
It was sick.
But that just shows you, I think fish are like going in like, I don't think they're getting fed that much anymore.
I know.
I think they're exploring.
They're spreading out.
I mean, we were catching it like they're eating streamers more down there. Like, I just think the whole area down there is completely changing. Things are happening down there.
And maybe
not
for the best.
happening.
Yeah, maybe it may. I mean,
Things
if
are
they
not
spread
happening.
out.
Fish are no longer being fed or being put in there, is my opinion.
I will tell you, if
And
you've
I don't
never
give
seen,
a crap about the pellet heads anymore.
but if you've never seen a 29-inch fish come up and sip a size 18 elk hair caddis,
It was stupid.
it's life altering.
Yeah, that was crazy.
It was wild.
Oh, that was a good one. I don't know. It's cooked now.
Yeah.
The Blue River's cooked.
But I think that overall, we need to not lose any more access in the
For
state
real,
of Colorado
dude.
than we already have.
We don't even have high water mark law right now.
No.
So the more access we lose, it's just detrimental. Our population's increasing. It's just
The amount of water we have is staying the same or getting smaller.
any loss of public access is not good.
Yeah. So again, reach out to whoever you can reach out to and ask questions and be involved if you want to keep your access. That's what I would say.
Yeah. All right. Well,
It's our PSA. I don't know. What does that stand for?
are we done?
Are we done?
Are we? Is
Yeah,
that
I
it?
guess. Yeah.
Is that all you have to talk about? The Blue River used to be your absolute favorite place in the world.
It was only my favorite when you begged me to take you down there.
Yeah, I was like,
For 3 years, you're like,
When I
we
was
gotta
like
go, we gotta
13,
go, we gotta
14.
go. I think you were 15.
is there
or
anything else you
16.
need to add about this place?
That's your fault. You cooked it. It's all your
I
fault.
didn't cook it.
You cooked it.
You cooked it.
Cooking steaks tonight.
Don't trespass at Jurassic Park either. And that's all.
That is my public
I've ever
service
done it.
announcement.
I just don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it.
Not worth it.
Consequences.
I'm sure there's been people that have tried to go sneak back into the old public section down there.
I'm sure there have. Even with the huge sign that's over on the road.
Fudge. Whatever. That place sucks.
Again. So overall, the Blue River sucks. That's what we were trying to say. Don't fish it. Does anything else suck today? You got anything else for me that
We
sucks?
just gotta, yeah. Just,
You're a negative
what
person.
Else sucks?
What else sucks? Lay it on me.
Scuds suck.
The Blue River
The
sucks.
Blue River sucks.
Boats that sink suck.
What else sucks? Tiny dry fly fishing sucks.
Dude, it blows. That's what I want to say. Hey, we're going to do a whole thing on who thinks it's fun to try to fish a size 24 trico.
Unless you're okay. Colorado, it sucks. But like maybe like some of those Montana places, you know, where they're,
Okay,
like, where you see actual like hundreds
Of fish
like
rising?
thousands of heads rising, like where you can't like where that is actually easier. That's
Do
a
you-
little bit
okay,
better. So
if-
I wouldn't say it sucks there, but like in general.
Okay, if
Might
you're
suck.
fishing one of those rivers, though, can I ask you something? You're fishing a size 20. Let's just
Two.
make it, let's say it's big and it's a size 20. Okay, let's say it's
Trico.
huge, a huge size 20 trico.
Yeah.
And there's thousands of them all over the water and there's heads popping up. When do you set the hook?
You can have good eyes.
Dude, you don't even know which one's yours. Like, you just hope.
You just you just feel it until it takes off. Where was I? That just happened somewhere.
It did on a dry fly. Where were we? In Montana.
Oh, no, it was actually.
Oh,
blue.
it was on the blue. You weren't even
I was
looking.
looking at the other way, and all of a sudden, it just like a fish was on, and it
started
ate the dry
swimming
fly.
away.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I think tiny dry flies suck. I don't want to have to try to find them. I don't want to have to try to point them out.
Oh, speaking of this, so there was a post made about our North Platte topic last episode. Wyoming Fish and Game came out with a thing finally on the regulations that have been done about pegged eggs and stuff. And in the comments, there were battles going on.
Oh, there were.
Oh yeah,
I
there
haven't
were
even
fly
seen it.
shops. There were just people. Everyone was commenting their take on it. You know, like yay, ban the eggs, or like there were people saying how dry flies cause way more harm than a pegged egg because they're tiny dries that go all the way down its throat. And I'm like, all of them were kind of fair points. I don't even know how to feel about it now, because the pegged egg thing, like I get it wrecks. You know, you're taking mandibles off after so many times being hooked by a pegged egg. But dry flies, like they'll sip and choke a dry fly.
Okay, I got a better one for you. Then what's wrong? Then what is a dry fly with a dropper? How many times do you get a dry, like where they just miss your dry fly
yeah.
and you set the hook?
Or a double dry.
Yeah.
They eat the front one and all of a sudden it's like shanked in the eyeball. But
Yeah,
the
so
back
that's
dry,
better?
like- yeah.
That's
Maybe-
not taking a
I
mandible?
think the whole fishing industry is just dwindling down to
This isn't taking a mandible when it eats the head, and this is a size like 8 hook right here. That's not taking a mandible.
I think we're all slowly becoming against fishing in general.
That's what it feels like. Like since there's no way to do it, maybe we'll just stop. I think we got to go back to dynamite. Just start blowing them up.
That's crazy. No, but it feels like we're like in 20 years, like people are going to be like, I mean, look at BC. It's already single barbless hook.
One.
That's as close to like PETA don't fish as you can get. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, Pete is almost on board with British Columbia. That's how bad it is.
And not that I disagree with it though. Like with so much pressure, like I don't even know. Fishing might just be gone.
And we're
Or you can only fish
Hey, yo,
and keep it,
and have you
you have to
noticed-
stop after you. Do you know what I mean?
you get to catch one fish and go home and eat it, and that's your one fish for the day. Like there's no more catch and release. Every person gets one fish.
Pretty soon we're gonna have limits on catch and release. I feel like
I do too. Like hours. Like you can only fish, catch, and
for a
release
certain amount of fish caught.
for 3 hours.
You can only catch 10 fish and then you have to leave.
And then they're going to have someone follow you around and watch you catch your 10 fish.
Or they're gonna track you on facial recognition cameras.
It's crazy. But dude, how crazy is it though that everyone who's fighting are all fighting for the same thing, but they're fighting against each other to the point where one group wants to end everything and then it's going to end everything.
I don't know.
Stop fishing. It's not good.
Yeah, if enough people stop fishing.
But please buy our boats so that you can not fish in them. They are good whitewater boats, so you could use it for that.
You can only fish if you buy our boats.
Exactly. Only TFC.
That's a great regulation. We should get that passed.
Only the hydros. You can only fish out of a hydro sleigh. And we're going to use boat recognition to make sure that you do.
Dude, that's funny. A lot of sarcasm right now, but honestly, like something.
It just feels like it's just heavy all the time, dude. It's just fishing. Everyone just wants to catch a fish.
But then when places suck, it's like, well, fudge. Things are going downhill. So something's got to be done about something in places.
I know. Dude, it was so much better before 2020. COVID cooked Colorado, cooked the fishing
Feels that
industry.
way.
Oh well.
Buy a boat. Just do some whitewater. Just do some floating on our boats.
Yeah, just go out and float. Take your shoes off.
I'm just kidding. Buy our boat and go fish and float whatever the heck you want.
And if you want tips, we'll call us. We'll tell you where to go fish. We'll tell you where to float. If you buy a boat, we'll give you secret information.
I don't even know we're ending it now. I don't even know what we're talking about.
All right.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye.